I noticed something sneaky about Elgato. Recently, they've adopted another one of Apple's tactics. See, Apple is never the first to do something. The iPod wasn't the first MP3 player, the iPhone wasn't the first smartphone, and the Vision Pro isn't the first AR headset. Instead, they take something kind of new and niche, and they fix all the little quirks, turning it into something that everybody wants. Teleprompters aren't new, but they aren't super widely used by content creators due to some combination of the inconvenience of needing to add your own phone or tablet as the screen, the lack of useful scenarios, it's kind of a one-use device, and the cost of semi-decent ones. But here's where it gets fun. As someone who's never had any desire to use a teleprompter, this device has become my favorite thing Elgato has made. So, it begs the question, is the Elgato prompter good enough? Is it Apple enough to make teleprompters popular? I assume we all know what a teleprompter is at this point. It's a two-way mirror that goes in front of your camera so that even though your camera can see you, you see a reflection of the screen underneath it. And normally it's used so that you can read the script while still looking right at the camera. The problem with these is, unless you want to pay stupid amounts of money, they don't come with a built-in screen. You have to use your own phone or a tablet if you have one. And so for the cheap ones that are essentially just plastic and glass, they still feel too expensive. And that's kind of the beginning of the problem with teleprompters. And if you combine that with having to set up an app on your phone and not having your phone available while you're filming, it seems like the barriers of entry start to stack up a little bit too high for something that's a single-use product. And that's why teleprompters have always been fairly niche. But Elgato just released a teleprompter, and they made one particular change that seems like it might solve all of those problems. Because Elgato added a built-in monitor, and wait for it, a built-in monitor that connects to your computer as a second monitor. Let me just show you. For the last 2 months, I've had Prompter sitting here next to my monitor. And yes, that is the name. It is called Prompter.
Drop the. It's clean.
And since it works like a second monitor, I can drag anything I want onto it. And it's connected to my Mac with a single cable that sends both power and data. I would like to show you my 4 favorite things that I use this for every day. Let's start with the obvious one, text on the screen. Just because I want to show you how using it with a Stream Deck completely changes the teleprompter experience. And we're gonna do that by sharing the sponsor of today's video, and we're gonna do it all in one take. Hey, did you know that you can get your live streams edited into social media highlights and compilations for free? Let me tell you how to do that with Sizzle.gg, and they're gonna do a $25 cash giveaway at the end of the sponsor segment. Sizzle.gg is a great and free way to make YouTube highlights and compilations from your Twitch streams with absolutely no editing and no software needed. Just sign up for a free account, link it to your Twitch or YouTube channel, and then Sizzle watches and analyzes your stream, and it uses video and audio cues to find the best moments of your stream and cut them into compilations for you. It's pretty wild. It's so sophisticated that you can even filter by kills, headshots, knockdowns, sniper kills, and victories. When you select one of your live streams to edit for you, you just let them know what game you're playing, and then it does the rest. And with one click, you can share it straight to social media platforms, enjoy your free content, helping you reach larger audience and grow your following. This really is one of those work smarter, not harder kind of tools that everyone should be using. And also, by the way, as for the $25, Sizzle.gg is going to PayPal 2 of you that sign up for a free account on their site. So go sign up, links in the description down below, and start getting free highlights and maybe $25 of free skins or battle passes or whatever you want. Back to the video. Favorite use case number 2, Zoom calls. I have 4 to 5 Zoom calls a week, whether it's for business or just Japanese lessons, and my calls have gone from looking like this to looking like this. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think that everybody who does Zoom calls should have one of these, just so we can feel like we're actually having real conversations with each other again. I miss that. Favorite use number 3. One of the obvious weak points of modern cameras is the screen, which not only is it way too small, but it's also next to the lens, and so you're tempted to try to look at it instead of looking at the lens. My prompter screen is almost permanently set as a viewfinder screen for my camera, and then if I want to, I can hit this button, and it switches back to the text monitoring, and then back to the monitor, so I can see what my shot looks like while I'm shooting. This is actually really huge, and not just because the screen is big now, but because not only can I look directly at the screen as I'm shooting, but also while I'm setting up the shot, I can see what the lighting on my face is going to look like as I'm staring directly at the screen, something I've never been able to do before. That's a big one. Like it really is. Like lots of YouTubers use extra monitors for that purpose, and this is probably now the best external monitor you can get. And you do it just by capturing your camera inside OBS and then full screen monitoring it to the prompter, because the prompter is just another screen. And lastly, my favorite use case number 4, Elgato has added a native Twitch chat function. So you can sign into Twitch and it displays your chat on the screen with optimized text sizing and color, so you can look right at the chat when you're talking to them. It's gonna get real parasocial in here. One thing that has to be appreciated about Prompter is how much effort Elgato went through just to make sure you can use it with any camera. It comes with multiple plates on the back that you can swap out for whatever camera you're using. The default is a custom plate for the Facecam Pro, and then you mount the webcam to this L bracket, and then you mount the whole thing to a tripod using either of the mounting holes on the bottom. And because the L bracket has lots of different mounting options, you can connect any webcam, a GoPro, even your phone on this offset mounting hole, and you swap out the back plate with this shroud plate instead. You can also mount a full-size camera on this L bracket, or they made it even easier by putting a lens mount plate in the box with a bunch of step-up lens rings for just about any size lens. And because the whole prompter is fairly lightweight, you can just mount it right onto the lens like that. I actually like to put my camera on the L bracket so I can slide the lens closer to the glass and get a wider field of view. Elgato claims that you can get up to a 20mm lens on this thing, which is very wide for a teleprompter, by the way. I found that when using the lens backplate, I started to see the prompter at about 22mm. So not quite 20, but that also totally depends on what lens you're using and how it's built. And if you shoot open gate like I do, where the footage is taller, you end up getting a little bit more of a problem. But it turns out if you put your camera on the L bracket and slide it closer to the glass, you can get out to like 17mm, which is insanely wide for a teleprompter. And it's great for content creators who film themselves on wide lenses. So, is it perfect? Is it Apple enough? I mean, this is a complete rethinking of what a teleprompter even is. So I'm sure we'll find tons of new features and uses for it in the coming years. But now that I've been using Prompter for about 2 months, there's one thing I'm wondering if we will ever see. Elgato, will we ever get a Prompter XL that is the size of a real monitor? And hear me out here, guys, because right now, Prompter is a teleprompter that happens to have monitor functionality, which arguably makes it the best teleprompter you can buy. However, the flip side of that is, what if we had a fully functioning monitor that a camera happens to be able to see through? And I feel like the only difference to make that happen is increasing the size up to like 13 or 15 inches. Maybe put like powered USB on there, or like a built-in cam link so the camera can plug directly into the prompter. Am I getting a little ridiculous right now? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little excited, that's all. I think that'd be interesting. What do you think? And what do you think of the prompter? Leave a comment down below. If you have 0 thoughts on the prompter, just leave your favorite emoji for engagement. And while you're down there, hit the like button because, you know, it's free and it helps out the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, happy streaming.